Have you ever sat down for a quiet dinner, maybe something simple you made yesterday, only to wonder, is this still okay to eat? You heat it up, take a bite, and then something inside you hesitates. It just doesn't feel right. You may not be able to explain it, but your body knows, and it's asking you to listen. If you're over 60, you already understand this. Your body changes. What worked at 40 doesn't always work now. Your stomach speaks a little louder. Your sleep feels lighter. And food, well, food becomes either your friend or something that leaves you tired, bloated, or worse. That's why this video matters more than you think. Today we're going to talk about 3 foods you should never reheat, and 3 you should, but not in a fear-based or complicated way. I'm not here to scare you or lecture you. I'm here to guide you like a friend who wants you to stay well, stay strong, and feel peace after every meal. And before we even get into the foods, there's something even more important: your daily habits. Because the truth is, your energy, digestion, and even your memory begin long before you take your first bite. So let's start there, with you in the morning. When you wake up, your body is like a quiet engine. It's been running all night, repairing, resetting, restoring, but now it needs fuel, and not just from food. The first thing you should give it is water. Simple, clean water. Even half a glass, just to let your body know we're awake now, we're beginning. You might be surprised how much that helps. It clears your head, it gets your system moving. It even softens joint stiffness before you take that first step out of bed. If you've never tried this before, tomorrow morning, give it a shot. Keep a glass by your bedside tonight. Just one sip can change your morning. And then, light. Not the TV, not your phone. I mean sunlight. If you can, step outside for just 5 minutes in the early morning. Let the light touch your face. Feel the warmth, even if it's cloudy. This gentle cue tells your body it's time to wake up. It resets your natural rhythm. It can even help you sleep better later tonight. If you're thinking, but I don't have time, remember this: it's not about time, it's about presence. 5 quiet minutes with yourself is worth more than a rushed hour. And as you move into the day, add a little movement. You don't need to run or even walk fast, just stretch. Lift your arms up, roll your shoulders, circle your ankles while you sit. Movement reminds your joints they're still loved. It keeps stiffness from stealing your joy. So before we even touch the topic of reheated food, remember this: if you wake up dehydrated, sit in darkness, and skip movement, your digestion won't work the way it should, no matter what you eat. But if you hydrate, feel the sun, and move even just a little, you're already helping your body protect itself from the inside out. You may want to go back and hear that again. It matters more than you think. These little morning habits aren't just healthy, they're healing. Now let's gently step into what you came here for. The foods that can either support or sabotage you when reheated. Because some meals were never meant to be rewarmed. They change, they shift, and sometimes they turn on you. But others, they actually become safer, easier to digest, or more nourishing after a gentle reheat. Strange, isn't it? We'll explore all of that, but not just the what, the why that your body feels. You'll leave this video knowing exactly what to keep, what to toss, and what to savor again. But first, take a breath. You're here, you're taking care of yourself. That means something. And maybe this reminded you of someone, a parent, a friend, someone who saves leftovers the way they save old memories. If it did, share this video with them now. They may need it more than you know, and I'd love to hear from you. Do you reheat meals? Have you ever felt uneasy afterward? Let me know in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Now let's talk about something just as important: how to keep your mind strong and clear, no matter your age. Because what we eat matters, but so does how we think. And sometimes, the quiet fog in our minds is the very thing stealing our energy, not the food at all. We'll talk about that next. Have you ever walked into a room, then paused, wondering why you were there in the first place? Maybe you opened the fridge and stared at it, unsure of what you were looking for. It's okay, you're not alone. That happens more often than we like to admit, especially as we get older. But here's something you need to hear: forgetfulness is not failure. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's simply a signal that your mind is asking for a little more care, a little more attention. See, Your brain is like a garden. Over the years it's collected so much. Memories, names, places, dreams, conversations. And just like a garden, it needs light, water, and a little tending. And the best news, it's never too late to start. Let's start with something simple, reading. Not textbooks or complicated novels, just something that makes you curious. A story that takes you somewhere, or a short article about a place you've always wanted to visit. Reading activates areas of the brain that keep your thinking sharp. Even 10 minutes a day can help. Try it after breakfast, while your tea is cooling. That's one tiny habit that gives your mind a little stretch, like a walk for your thoughts. And speaking of walks, let's talk about music. You may not realize this, but music is one of the most powerful tools for memory and clarity. Just think back to a song from your younger years. Maybe the one that played at your wedding, or the one that filled your home when the kids were small. Do you feel it? That shift in the air? Music brings back emotions, images, entire chapters of your life. That's not just nostalgia, that's brain health in action. So if you haven't already, create a little playlist. Play it while you fold laundry, while you water your plants, while you sit in the sun. You're not just enjoying old songs, you're feeding your brain. And if you really want to strengthen your focus, try puzzles, not the 1,000-piece kind, unless that excites you. I'm talking about crosswords, word searches, even those matching games on your phone. Anything that makes your brain work just a bit. Even better, do them with someone. Which brings us to something so simple, but so often overlooked. Talking. When was the last time you had a long, slow conversation with someone? Not about bills or doctor visits, but about life, memories, hopes. The kind of talk where you lose track of time. These conversations are like fertilizer for the mind. They spark new ideas, jog old ones, and keep you connected. If you have a friend, a neighbor, a grandchild, even a pet, talk to them, out loud, every day. Don't let silence settle too deep into your home. The mind listens to what it hears, so let it hear love, warmth, and words. You may want to go back and re-listen to that part. It's subtle, but it matters more than you think. Now I know what you might be wondering. Is it really this simple? Yes, it can be. These aren't magic tricks. They're acts of kindness toward your brain. You don't need pills or fancy programs. You just need to show up for your mind, like it's shown up for you every day of your life. For every name it remembered, every lesson it learned, every danger warned you about. Your brain has served you well. Now it's your turn to serve it. And remember, your thoughts shape how you feel. If you tell yourself, I'm getting old, I'm losing it, your mind listens. But if you say, I'm learning, I'm curious, I'm still growing, your brain hears that too. Speak gently to yourself. Your thoughts are not just private whispers, they're instructions, and your brain follows them closely. Have you noticed any of these little slips in your day-to-day? I'd love to hear about them in the comments. You're not alone, and your story might help someone else feel seen too. And if you know someone who's starting to forget the little things, not because something's wrong, but just because life is full and fast, maybe share this with them. It might be the soft reminder they need. Let's do a quick recap together. Tomorrow morning, pick a short article to read. Just one. Then later, put on a song from your youth and let it carry you. And sometime this week, call someone you love and talk for 20 minutes about anything. These are not chores. These are gifts you're giving your own mind. Now let me leave you with something to remember. Your mind is not leaving you behind. It just needs you to walk beside it now. But even with a strong mind, there's something deeper, something softer, that keeps everything running. Our emotions. They're like the quiet engine behind every decision, every memory, every step forward. And as we age, those emotions can get heavier and sometimes lonelier. So let's sit with that next. Let's talk about the heart. Do you ever sit in a quiet room and feel a kind of weight in your chest? Not from pain, but from memory. A soft ache that doesn't speak, but lingers. That's the heart asking to be heard. As we grow older, we carry more than just wrinkles and wisdom. We carry absence of people, of places, of roles we no longer play. Maybe you were a mother who cooked for 5 every night. Maybe you were the one people came to for advice. Maybe you were the person everyone leaned on, and now the house is still, and no one knocks like they used to. That shift, it hurts. But here's the truth. Your heart has not become less powerful. It has simply become quieter. And in that quiet, it still holds the power to heal, to connect, to feel deeply. Let's begin there. The most dangerous thing for the aging heart is not high blood pressure. It's loneliness. And loneliness doesn't always mean you're alone. You can be surrounded by people and still feel like no one sees you. You can have children who love you and still feel like your story isn't being heard. But this is the part we change. Not by shouting louder, but by opening a new kind of door. One word: expression. You see, the heart needs to express itself, not just in tears, but in creation, writing, singing, gardening, even talking to yourself while making soup. These aren't hobbies, they are heart balms. They give voice to emotions that otherwise stay locked away. When was the last time you wrote a letter to someone you loved? Not because you had to, but because you wanted them to feel what you feel. Try it. It doesn't have to be mailed. Just write it. Dear Sarah, I miss the way you laughed when you burned the toast. I still think of you every morning when the kettle whistles. Simple, honest, real. These small acts free the heart. And here's another quiet truth. Your heart is still needed, deeply. Maybe not in the same way as when you were younger. Maybe your children don't need lunch packed, or your partner is no longer by your side. But your wisdom, your stories, your presence, these are priceless. To a neighbor, to a caregiver, to a grandchild, to a stranger sitting beside you at the bus stop. Don't underestimate the healing power of your smile or your listening ear. When you open your heart to someone else, especially someone hurting, you begin to heal your own. There's a reason older people are the ones who comfort best, because you know what pain is. You've seen it, lived it, carried it. But don't just comfort others, receive comfort too. This might be the hardest part for you. Letting others love you, letting someone make you tea, letting someone call and ask how you are. It's not weakness, it's connection. Letting others see you is a gift for them and for you. And while we're here, let's talk about forgiveness. Because for many, the heart isn't just carrying love, it's carrying regret, guilt, words we wish we said or didn't say, time we can't get back. But listen closely, your past is not your prison. You are allowed to let go. You are allowed to forgive someone who hurt you, not for their sake, but for your own peace. You are also allowed to forgive yourself. Whatever mistake you made, you've already paid for it with time, with thought, with worry. Now it's time to lay it down. Say it out loud if you need to. I forgive myself for not knowing better back then. But I know better now, and that is enough. Do you feel that? That shift? That's your heart breathing again. And if you're still here, still watching, it means your heart wants to heal. It wants to feel light again. Let it. Tell me in the comments, what has your heart been holding that you're ready to let go of? This community is your space to release what no longer serves you. And if you're holding something beautiful, like a story, a lesson, a piece of advice you learned through love or loss, please share that too. You never know who needs it. Now here's something I want you to try before the week ends. Pick one person, anyone, and tell them something kind from your heart, a memory, a thank you, a compliment. Make it sincere. Watch what happens. That connection will warm your chest just as much as theirs. Because the heart doesn't age the way the body does. The heart grows stronger the more you use it. And tomorrow morning, when you rise and pour your tea, I want you to place a hand on your chest and whisper this: I am still full of love. I am still open to joy. And I am still here for a reason. That reason is waiting. But to find it, we must go even deeper. We've spoken to the body. We've awakened the mind. We've soothed the heart. Now it's time to remember the most sacred part of all, the spirit. The part of you that cannot be touched, only felt. The part that carries your legacy. Let's go there next. There is a part of you that cannot wrinkle. It does not sag. It does not slow. It does not die. It is the part that watched you as a child, full of wonder, and stayed with you through every season. That part is your spirit. The spirit is not religion. It is not rules. It is the pulse of your soul, the thread that ties your life together into one long sacred story. And for many, it is the most neglected. Because when the body begins to slow, and the mind grows tired, and the heart aches with old memories, the spirit quietly waits, not pushing, not demanding, just waiting for you to return. So let's return. Start with this. You are not just a person, you are a presence. Look back, not just at what you've done, but at how you made people feel. That is spirit. Did you ever notice how some elders walk into a room, and the room changes? It's not what they say, it's who they are. They carry peace, or strength, or joy, or wisdom. They emanate something invisible, but undeniable. That is spiritual presence. And here's the truth. No one tells you. You can build that presence at any age. How? By living in alignment. By choosing meaning over distraction. By slowing down and listening to your inner voice again. Here's a small practice to awaken your spirit. Even if you've been spiritually asleep for decades, sit in silence for 5 minutes every morning. No TV, no phone, no thoughts you chase. Just breathe and ask this question. What part of me is still trying to speak? You may hear nothing at first. That's okay, but keep asking. Because the spirit doesn't shout, it whispers. It speaks in feelings, in synchronicities, in subtle nudges, in that strange knowing you can't explain. Trust that. You are not too old to evolve spiritually. In fact, the elder years are the perfect time, because now you are finally empty enough to be filled. You don't have to impress anyone anymore. You don't have to race. You don't have to prove your worth. Now is the time to be, to walk slowly, to speak only what matters, to forgive fully, to seek beauty in ordinary things. That's the beginning of spiritual mastery. And there's something else. Have you ever wondered why certain stories outlive generations? Because they carry spiritual truth, not facts, not logic, but emotional, eternal truth. And your life is one of those stories. It's time to tell it. Write your story, not for fame, not for others, but for your soul. Write the lessons you learned the hard way. Write the joys that brought you to tears. Write the moments you almost gave up but didn't. Because when you put your life on paper, you make meaning out of memory. And when you find meaning, your spirit strengthens. Now, let's talk about death. Yes, that word, most avoid it. Some fear it. But the wise, prepare for it. Not out of dread, out of peace. Death is not the end. It is the great exhale, the return, the soft night after a full day. And when you live in touch with your spirit, death stops being scary. Why? Because the spirit knows, deeply, that nothing truly ends. People die, but presence remains. Memories remain. Love remains. And that love, my friend, is you. So don't wait to become a spiritual elder. Begin now. Be the one who others turn to, not just for advice, but for presence. Let your grandchildren remember the warmth in your eyes. Let your friends feel lifted just by your voice. Let your final decades become your most sacred. Here is your spiritual challenge for the week. Spend 1 hour alone in nature. No headphones, no schedule, just presence. Look at the trees, the wind, the birds. Let them remind you, you are part of something eternal. And when you return home, sit down and ask your spirit this. What do I want to leave behind? Not in possessions, but in feeling. Because that is your legacy. And guess what? It's never too late to shape it. Say this with me. I am not done growing. I am not done giving. I am not done becoming. My spirit still shines, and I will let it guide me home. Take a deep breath. Feel that. That is the spirit rising. But we're not finished. There's one final door to open. The door that gives your life shape, direction, and eternal impact. It's time for the last part of your healing journey, your purpose. Let's go there. What do you want to leave behind? Not just in the things you own, but in the lives you've touched, the hearts you've changed, the wisdom you've shared. As we grow older, there's a beautiful shift that happens. It's as though we start looking at life through a different lens. The rush of the years, the hurry to succeed, the chase for what's next, it begins to fade, and something deeper emerges. We start asking, what's the point of all this? We long to know that the time we've spent matters, that our journey hasn't been in vain. You've already been through so much. You've experienced the highs and the lows. You've faced challenges that once felt impossible, and here you are, still standing, still with a heart full of wisdom. And now, there's a question that's asking for your attention. How do you want your next chapter to unfold? This is the age where we can finally be honest with ourselves about what truly matters. It's a time to reflect on the things you've loved, the dreams you've held, and the moments you wish you'd spent more time savoring. Maybe it's a person you've never fully forgiven. Maybe it's a dream you've put on hold. Maybe it's just living with more intention, letting go of the things that no longer serve you. You might have heard the saying, we're never too old to chase our dreams. But it's not just about chasing new dreams. It's about rediscovering the dreams you've had all along and breathing life into them once again. Imagine this. You are sitting in the quiet of your home, looking back at your life. What would you want to say to your younger self? What would you want the world to know about the lessons you've learned, the love you've shared, and the legacy you've created? Your life, dear friend, has a unique rhythm, and you're in the perfect place right now to tune into it. One way to begin uncovering your purpose is by reflecting on 3 simple but powerful questions. What have I learned that I wish others knew? This could be a piece of advice, a lesson from your own experience, or something about life that has shaped your view. Your wisdom is a gift, and it deserves to be shared. Even if you're not sure how or where to share it yet, the first step is acknowledging that it matters. What makes my heart sing? When was the last time you did something purely for the joy of it? Something that made you lose track of time. Maybe it's art, music, writing, or being in nature. Reconnect with those passions. They are the pathways to your purpose. Who do I want to be for the next generation? Whether it's your children, grandchildren, or the community around you, you have an opportunity to leave a mark. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. What kind of person do you want them to remember? What kind of love do you want them to carry forward? Now, take a moment, breathe in deeply, and ask yourself, what is the one thing I still want to do, for me, that would make my heart feel full? Sometimes our purpose is right in front of us. We just need to give ourselves permission to follow it, even if it feels a bit scary or uncertain. And the truth is, when you begin to live with purpose, something incredible happens. You stop thinking about time as running out and start seeing it as something that expands with intention. When we start asking these big questions, it often leads to one simple realization: the best gift we can give ourselves is to live the life we've always imagined. You might be wondering, though, how do I begin? How do I find that spark of purpose? Here are 2 simple actions you can take. Starting today, write down 3 things you'd like to accomplish in the next year. No matter how big or small, it might be something as simple as reconnecting with an old friend. Or maybe it's learning something new, like a skill or hobby you've always wanted to try. These are seeds for your purpose. Start a small, meaningful project, something that excites you. Maybe it's a personal collection, a garden, writing letters to family members, or creating something artistic. It doesn't matter what it is, just that it brings you joy and gives you a sense of contribution. These small actions build momentum. They remind you that your days matter. They connect you with your purpose, with the people you love, and with the greater story of your life. And once you've set your intentions, there's a piece of advice I want to share with you, one that has helped many elders find peace with their purpose. Your purpose doesn't always have to be something grand. It doesn't have to be a monumental shift. Sometimes purpose is simply about bringing joy to others. It can be sharing a cup of tea with someone who's lonely. It can be sharing a memory that lifts someone's spirits. Your presence, your kindness, your ability to listen, these are your gifts. They may seem small, but they are profound. The gift of being present, of bringing warmth to the world, is the essence of purpose. Now, as you move forward in this season of life, I want to leave you with one last thought. You are enough. Whatever you've done or not done, wherever you've been or not been, you have always been enough. Your life, your story, your spirit, it has all led you to this point. The moments you've lived have shaped you into someone who can look back and say, I have lived fully. But now let's take one more step together. There's something even deeper waiting for you. It's time to talk about the power of living in the present, and I think you'll find, in the end, it's the most important thing of all. Let's dive into that in the final chapter of this journey. Here you are in the present moment. A moment that, no matter what happened yesterday or what might come tomorrow, is all that matters right now. You might be wondering, What's the point of all this reflection? What about the things I've been holding on to? The things I haven't yet figured out? It's easy to feel as if life has passed by too quickly, or maybe there are still pieces of the puzzle that don't quite fit. But I want to share a quiet truth with you today. You are exactly where you need to be. Every breath you take, every step you make, is part of a much bigger story. And that story is unfolding right now. Have you ever had a moment where everything just clicked? Maybe it was something small, like looking out a window and feeling an overwhelming sense of peace. Or maybe it was a conversation with a friend that made you feel seen, understood, and connected. Those little moments, they matter more than you know. They remind you that every single day, there's a purpose. Every little action, every small gesture, holds weight. And yet, we often miss it. We get so caught up in looking ahead, thinking about all the things we have to do, the future we're trying to create, that we forget to live in the now. But living fully in the present, that's where the magic happens. When we truly embrace the present moment, we stop rushing through life. We begin to see the beauty in the simple things, the warmth of the sun on your face, the joy of hearing someone laugh, or the quiet stillness that fills your home at the end of the day. These moments are sacred, and they hold more power than we often realize. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, "I'll be happy when this is done," or "when I reach this goal"? That thought, though understandable, keeps you from fully living in the moment. The truth is, happiness, peace, and contentment aren't things you find in the future. They are here right now, waiting for you to notice them. Living in the now isn't about ignoring the past or forgetting the future. It's about giving yourself the gift of today. I know it's easy to get lost in the worries of what might happen or the regrets of what's already happened. But I want to offer you a simple practice that can bring you back to the present every single day. Take a moment every day to just be still. Sit in silence, without the distractions of TV, phone, or even other people. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just listen. Listen to the sound of your breath. Listen to the sounds around you. The wind outside, the birds singing, the hum of the world. This quiet time might feel strange at first, but trust me, it is transformative. In that stillness, you will reconnect with your own rhythm, your own heartbeat. It's in these moments that clarity arises. It's where you remember that you are part of something so much bigger than yourself. This practice of mindfulness, of living in the now, is not just good for your heart and mind, it's good for your body too. You see, stress comes from living too far in the past or future. When you allow yourself to just be in this moment, you let go of unnecessary worries and release tension. You free yourself to experience life exactly as it is. Now let me offer you another powerful reminder. You have everything you need right now. The love, the peace, the strength. It's all within you. You might not have all the answers, but you have the courage to face each day with grace. You don't need to chase after tomorrow or hold on to yesterday. You just need to breathe in this moment, exactly as it is. In this chapter of your life, it's easy to feel as if time is slipping by, but in reality, there's no such thing as wasted time. Every moment holds the opportunity for growth, connection, and peace. Every day is another chance to build the life you want, to shape your present into a future you can look back on with pride. I want you to remember this. You are enough, just as you are. The pressures of the world, the expectations of others, or even your own inner critic can sometimes make you feel like you're not doing enough, or not living up to some ideal. But you, my dear friend, are living exactly as you are meant to. You are enough, right now. And the more you recognize that, the more you'll see that there's nothing left to prove. You may be wondering, but how do I start embracing the now? When I've spent so many years focusing on what's next, it's simple. Start small. Take 5 minutes each day to center yourself, to breathe and to reflect. Begin to notice the beauty around you. In the little things, the way the sunlight falls across the floor, the sound of rain tapping against your window, the taste of a warm cup of tea, and most importantly, don't forget to celebrate the moments you've lived. Every experience, every person, every moment has brought you to this point. You have lived a rich, full life. The love you've given, the lessons you've learned, and the memories you've made, they've all shaped you into the remarkable person you are today. So here's the one thing I want to leave you with. Live fully today. Don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect moment, or the perfect anything. Life is happening right now, in the small, quiet moments you often overlook. What's one thing you're going to do today to take care of you? It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be anything grand, just something that brings you peace, joy, or contentment. Share it with me in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're embracing today. And if this video gave you peace, give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more. Remember, you're not alone, and you're not done. You are just getting started. You are here for a reason, and every single day matters more than you know.